Hey, we're late. The Rangers have a guy on first base, but we're really about to start as soon as Sarah hits play. Welcome to the CHGO Cubs Watch Along presented by Toyota and Bet365. Luke Stuckmeyer, Cody Delmendo, a little opposites here on the Watch Along. Getting a little weird tonight.
Call it Trading Places.
You know that Usher song, Trading Places?
I might. I do know some Usher songs, but I don't know that I know it by name.
Yeah, that's okay. Facts of the game so far. This guy on first base. Yeah. Also, the Cubs are undefeated when I wear these sweatpants. So we're bringing the good vibes tonight. We're bouncing back tonight, my friends.
Listen, if you're watching with us on the watch along on the new CHGO Cubs YouTube channel, by the way, make sure you subscribe so you can get in on the chat and chat with us. Niren's right. It's got to be like 20 degrees with the wind chill. Mm-hmm. It snowed multiple times today. Mm-hmm. You are in a better place sitting at home watching this with us on YouTube than you are if you had tickets tonight.
However,
I would have passed under every circumstance tonight.
You could have gone on Game Time, though, and got bleacher seats for $4 if you're a real sicko, though.
Yeah.
And I know some of you in this chat are real sickos, so I wouldn't have blamed you.
Speaking of sicko, the amount of money you would have spent on cough medicine a week later.
Probably would have made up for it. So, hello, everyone in the chat.
Guys from Texas are bundled up.
Look at Adolis Garcia. You can't even see his face.
I don't blame him.
Steele got the first two outs. I think he struck out Seager and Simeon.
Yeah, Seager almost looked like he was going to walk to the wrong dugout.
But then now the last two guys have made it. I got no run first inning and Steele over 17 and a half outs tonight, which is 6 innings. There you go.
Nice play. Is
that Michael Busch over there at first base? Funny how he made a great defensive play there. Interesting, yeah. Let's say hello to some people in the chat. Shane, fellow sicko. Ron, who was in the bleachers with us on Friday, fellow sicko. Hello. Vanilla Chill, Niren, Austin, Rogue Wave, who once Venmo'd me. Shout out to you. Another Austin, James Colstock. You're always here. And Douthwaite. I don't know how to say your name. First time catching one of these. Hell yeah, dude. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.
Ron's going to work in Milwaukee outside at 2 a.m.
Ugh.
You gonna watch the whole game? You gonna stay up?
That sounds absolutely
does
awful.
Not sound.
That sounds awful, Ron. I'm sorry, dude.
That doesn't sound good. Cody,
did you see that CJ Abrams is not playing? I did see. So my bet is void. So we go back to the CJ Abrams well tomorrow. 8-3 betting on CJ Abrams this year.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Jimmy Colstock says, "What's up, bruh?"
What's up, bro?
Jimmy knows that I like brah more than I like bruh.
So how are we feeling tonight about a win? How are we feeling? Are the vibes back up? You know, we aired our grievances yesterday.
It's
right?
not a win. I want to know, like, if we put out a poll question, it's a 3-game series. How many games will be played this week? Like, obviously the games, if they bang it, it'll be played, at a later date.
Yeah.
Will they play one of these games, 2 of these games, or 3 of these games? I think tonight's the best chance for a game. And that's why even though it's like 32 degrees outside and the wind is howling in, they will play tonight's game. Mm-hmm. The next 2 nights, it's this weather and rain.
Yeah.
Or I should say tomorrow night, it's this weather and rain. And then during the day on Wednesday, also rain.
I will take the over because I have enough experience watching the Cubs find any shape or form to get a game in. But I've also seen them postpone games that they didn't need to postpone. So I think that they will find a way to get all these games. And maybe that Wednesday game is a no-go. Or maybe they move the Wednesday game back later in the – I don't know how the weather is supposed to shape up on Wednesday. But
they're off Wednesdays, on Thursday. Are they both off on Thursday?
I'm not sure. But I also don't want them to necessarily play on Thursday because you go to L.A. on Friday. You know? So I hope they just get the game in or postpone it to a later date.
Evaldi's a guy that I always kind of wish the Cubs would have found a way to get.
He was a guy a few years ago. Was it deciding between him or Jamison Tyone?
Yeah, I think that was.
Yeah, Tyone's been fine, but I think Evaldi's better than him. Gets more whiffs, has more playoff pedigree, has that dog mentality in him. But I am curious how he's going to handle this weather.
It's a nice pitch.
You know what I mean? So we got a 2-2 count here on Ian Happ. Bottom of the first. I wonder if there's any real sicko out there playing today that is not wearing sleeves.
Niren thinks all three. Niren thinks all three. Only one trip to Chicago. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. 3-2 count. Can we get a leadoff walk? Leadoff walk. Yeah, I need the Nerfy, but I'll
what about the goose? Have they removed the goose?
They did. Bleacher Jeff actually tweeted that they removed the goose. Apparently, the Cubs were 2-1 with the goose.
They had no choice. I know that the animal birds and all those people, like animal lovers, some might be like, you can't touch that. But once the goose, first of all, the goose is going to start to be protective of that nest, and you're going to have a problem with the bleachers. Second of all, if the goose actually has babies, now you have a real problem on your hands. What are you going to do, shut down the bleachers?
Right. Wow, the left fielder came all the way.
So in some ways, it's for the safety of the goose, too.
Yeah. Only at Wrigley Field would something like that happen, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Surprised the seagulls didn't. You ever seen a seagull nest? I know they're not technically called seagulls. I think they're seabirds.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, but right? If you ever, you see a robin's nest, you see a cardinal's nest, you see a goose.
I agree with Vanilla Chill. Geese are terrifying. Like when you just, pause, Kyle Tucker is at the plate.
They just poop everywhere.
Yes, there's that, but there's something about how you see geese at parks all the time, just flocks of them.
Yeah.
And when they start just
those long necks,
and they start squealing
they're way more intimidating than a duck.
Rubs me the wrong way, brother. Speaking of other animals that give me fear, I will tell you here after Kyle Tucker takes this 0-0 count. Ooh, way off the end of the bat, little bloop shot.
There we go.
Hey, I got Kyle Tucker.
Man, he hits the ball hard, huh?
I got Kyle Tucker over 1.5 total bases. There's one base.
Oh, see, he's milking the cow again.
He, coming into this game, Kyle Tucker slugging .636 against Nathan Eovaldi. So he just added to that, even though it was just a little bloop shot. But he sees Eovaldi well. So anyway, you mentioned, I don't know if you mentioned on Watch Along, that just started. But I was catching up on White Lotus the other night.
Yeah, White Lotus. And big finale. Don't ruin it. If you're in the chat and you've watched White Lotus, don't ruin the ending for anybody.
But I'll just say in this current season, there is a scene where this guy is letting all these snakes loose.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I had to cover my eyes. I can't do snakes and I can't do heights, Luke. I can't do snakes. I can't do heights. I can't do it.
That's the guy from Vice Principals with Kenny Powers.
Yeah.
And he's also in Righteous Gemstones as Baby Billy.
Yeah. That's where he's in stuff with Kenny Powers. Yeah. Saya 0-2 ground ball.
What you were talking about, and they're going to turn two.
Hey, there's the Nerfy. There's a Nerfy.
Jake Berger.
One leg down, one leg to go. We need Justin Steele to go 6 innings tonight. We win a parlay, or at least I will.
Yeah, Niren says no spoilers because a lot of people haven't watched that show. I did watch it last night.
Highly recommend.
I like the first season the best of all of them. Yes, but
first season's great.
I will say this. You're talking about the snake scene.
Mm-hmm.
He has a fear. That actor has a fear of snakes.
Really?
Yeah.
How did he do that scene?
Terrified of snakes. And because he was so afraid of snakes while they were recording it, one of the snakes, like, Walter Goggins, sensed it, and he was kind of like going like this, and the snake bit him.
Oh.
Yeah, he had a snake bite, and they were filming that segment of the show, like, I don't know, what was it, maybe 10 minutes?
Yeah.
For like 8 hours that day. And he kept filming for 8 hours over and over the snake scenes. And apparently he just went back to his hotel room or wherever they're all staying while they're there in Thailand, I believe, right?
Thailand, yeah.
And he said the next day they called him and said, yeah, we're going to take it. We probably should have taken you to the hospital last night. Even though it was supposed to be not a venomous snake, they were like, we should have taken you and you need to go to the hospital. But he filmed like 8 hours and he did.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'm not a snake guy. If someone brings a snake, if we had some sort of, Wild Kingdom, hook up here. I do know a guy that works at Wild Kingdom.
Have you ever heard of snake jazz?
Oh, yeah.
Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but I'll just tell you, if someone ever handed me a boa constrictor, I'd just be, I'll pass.
I know the kid. If you know in the chat.
Yeah. I'm not a snake guy. That's for sure.
Snakes or spiders?
Oh,
snakes.
Kill me.
I can't do spiders.
You prefer snakes over spiders.
Send me into the lake.
I really can't do them. I can't do spiders. That's just me, though.
So if someone was like, all right, I have a snake you can hold, I have a tarantula you can hold, or I have like a hairy 1,000-legger looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which would you choose?
Snake.
You would choose to hold the snake?
Yeah.
Hey, White Sox legend Jake Berger at the plate. Remember we met him at winter meetings 2 years ago?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Nice guy. Wife, super nice. Very nice to us. He went on the CHGO White Sox show.
That's right.
So yeah, he's certainly
most home runs since July 1st. Jake Berger on the list. One behind Schwarbs.
Wow.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
No, I wouldn't have either. Oh, he went there. Was that 3K? Oh, he totally went there. See, yeah. Rufus Monkey thinks so. That's a swing, yeah? That's a swing. He better not get a hit now. Baseball gods owe us one. You gotta
wait on that.
Yeah. Berger currently hitting 114. So, if you didn't watch our preview today with Jeff Wilson from DLLS,
shame on you.
Shame on you, first off. And then second off, he talked a lot about the Rangers offense off to a slow start, but the pitching is off to a good start. So I feel like this is a good spot for Justin Steele, who just struck out Jake Berger. Is that his fourth strikeout? Looking sharp early.
My thing maybe hasn't updated yet. That says 3.
Is it 3? Okay.
No, it just maybe hasn't updated yet.
Rufus Monkey, you're Gabriel from TikTok. Okay. What's up, Gabriel? How you doing, dude?
Curious what everybody thinks of some of the content we're throwing up on CHGO Cubs
let
YouTube
us know.
channel. You like the shorts?
Yeah. Well,
the shorts have had a lot of views.
It's that, but I'm also curious of like certain content you guys might want as well.
Yeah, more so.
I've always thought, and we haven't done this, and we haven't even talked about it privately, but I've always thought maybe doing like a thing that will allow, maybe we start with just doing it with diehard members, but allow people, like, do a live thing, me and you, and then have another window where a listener comes up and then kind of do like old style radio,
call in,
or jump in and kind of
caller. Tom's coming in from Norridge,
air their grievances about whatever they're mad about or happy about. That is almost perfect bump. I think
man's calling him Sir Colada, and he'd like to talk about rickets.
Yeah, there you go. It's like I think that would be fun. I think like that's interactive. I think people would enjoy that. I don't know. It's kind of like Twitter Space, for example, or like what I do on TikTok Live sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I think that would be fun. I don't know, but yeah, I think the watch along things, definitely doing more of those. I know a lot of people in the chat over our 3.5 years of existence have asked for more watch alongs. So
Scotty C from Iowa wants a watch along with Cody doing the 999 challenge.
Scott from Iowa, what's going on?
Our Steven producer did that. I think
in 7 innings.
Yeah, he did the 7-inning one.
He'll eat just like plates of the 3 pounds of ground beef.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he already eats. I've seen him eat like 5 not Big Macs, but he ate 5 double McDonald's cheeseburgers.
He doesn't do it like Kobayashi style. It's not like inhaling it, but he does eat a lot of meat.
His metabolism. And his.
I'll just let him know that changes.
Mine
didn't change till like 40 something.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Steele walks the second guy.
She's
got
walks.
31 pitches here.
That was one of my keys for him. No walks.
No walks. Yeah.
Everybody says no homers. Homers are okay if it's just a solo homer. Look at that lady behind him.
Dude, she can't see her face.
She's got a hat and 2 hoods on.
She's like, why am I here?
She's double hood.
She's definitely like, why am I here?
Yeah.
He's way out. Got him. Let's go. Miguel Amaya. People are continuing to sleep on this Cubs catching tandem, Luke Stuckmeyer.
I sort of, with Birdie and Workman both in the game, this sort of feels like Council was like, all right, who's willing to play tonight?
Yeah. Right.
Birdie and Workman are like, me.
Yeah,
me.
they're like begging for a chance.
Yeah, I'll play. All right, you want to play? Well, I hope you enjoy the weather.
Nico's like, get me out of here. Let me go back to Northern California.
Nico's going to take this game off, and so is Shaw.
Yeah. It would have been more like I'm surprised like Seiya wasn't one of those, you know?
Mm-hmm. But like I said, Seiya literally could just sit. He's going to be warm. He's only got to be out there for like a couple minutes. He's got the heaters in the dugout, or he can just go back into the clubhouse.
That's true.
He's got the best job.
Yeah. This is definitely a night he's not complaining about playing in the field.
No. Look at that umpire.
Austin says, Luke, that you probably don't remember him, but he met you at a sports broadcasting camp last summer.
Does Austin know my brother-in-law?
Maybe.
I went to the sports broadcasting camp at the Holiday Inn in Skokie.
Oh, nice.
And fun fact that a long time ago, I went to that same sports. This was, 2005, 2006, spoke at that same broadcasting camp.
Mm-hmm.
It's run by guys that Neil Hartman kind of started it up, and Neil used to work at Comcast Sportsnet Philly, which turned into NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew him that way. And that's kind of how I got connected to it. Courtney Cronin was one of the campers.
Oh, nice.
At one of those first years that I did it. So you never know. You never know who's going to work their way up.
Yeah. Jonah Heim.
Because in Austin's picture, he looks like Aaron Rodgers.
that is Aaron Rodgers in his picture.
So in that way, I don't totally remember the specific name. But I do remember that this past year when I went, that one of my brother-in-law's former students was there.
Gary.
He was actually working in the camp, though.
Gary's in the chat, says, very confused by Cody and Luke switch seats.
Yeah, look at it in a mirror. Watch it in a mirror, and it'll look normal.
We decided to get a little weird tonight. We got a cold night at Wrigley, and we'll switch back for postgame because Luke's
all right, you talk for a while. I'm going to fill in some ad reads.
Okay. Leave some comments so I can talk to you guys.
You know what I want tonight. There's only one goal for tonight's game.
Taxes, and 2-hour games.
2-hour game. Can someone get Burley on the Rangers?
Vinny, what's going on, man? Vinny Bag of Donuts. What a name. We got 45 people watching, 26 likes.
Doesn't seem fair.
We are 2 innings through. We need to get some likes. We need to get more people in here.
By the way, tonight's
we do that by getting more likes. So hit that like button for us.
And tonight's post-game show, the chat, right now, when we do a post-game show, not a watch-along, but a post-game show, currently it's up on both channels. It's up on the CHGO Sports when we do post-game and this Cubs channel. pretty soon it's going to go away. Tonight we might try turning off. I think the chat's going to turn off on the main channel. Like 10 minutes into the show. So if you're planning on watching, just go straight to the Cubs one. Or if you're telling somebody to check us out,
so just make sure you're subscribed to the CHGO Cubs channel. And
everybody that's in the chat has to be subscribed, right? That's how that works.
Yeah, I would assume so.
I believe you can't chat unless you're logged in and subscribed. Maybe I'm wrong on
Cody and Luke, who is a starting pitcher the Cubs should trade for?
Well, I've said we've talked about Cease, King, and Alcantara, right?
Yeah, Alcantara seems like the most most reasonable one right now, because if the Padres are in it, they're not going to trade King or Cease.
Well, I mean, and what's fascinating is right now we're all saying they need a starter, yada, yada, yada. But if somebody comes up and fills that void, could that need change halfway through the season? Like if you have Shota, Steele, and Boyd is what are they talking about here?
I think that's pregame.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's say the bullpen becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Does a reliever become your big need? Like a critical reliever become your need at the trade deadline instead of that starter? Maybe.
Yeah. For me, I mean, Alcantara is like the dream for me.
Yeah, me too.
Not only because he's awesome, but you got multiple years of control with him. He's going to cost you an arm and a leg, maybe 2 more arms and legs after that too, but I don't know. You think about Alcantara, Shota, Steele, your top 3. Then you have your young pitchers like Ben Brown, Cade Horton, and Jordan Wicks. And you got the back end. You got 1 more year of Tyone after this, right? And you got Boyd for, another year or 2. So, there's a lot of depth there if you get a trade for him. Ooh, Bush shoots one the other way down the left field line. Let's go into the Bartman seats. Michael Bush says, "Hey, Craig, keep me in the lineup.
Pinch hit me. Come on now.
Keep me in the lineup, buddy."
I can't even see that guy. He was camouflaged so well in that chair. Nice going the other way with it. Perfect. Nice job of hitting. Would Brown be anything out of the bullpen instead of starting? Well, I think some people still believe that Brown would be better just because he only has 2 pitches, which is easier to do if you're in the bullpen than as opposed to seeing a bunch of hitters 2-3 times. So, I think most people hope that long-term he's a starter, but some people do think, I think that was sort of a debate even in the organization halfway through the Cactus League was, what is the best fit for him? Yeah. When you have 7 no-hit innings last season, shows you can play. Is it harder to do with just 2 pitches? Yeah.
Yeah.
But he also could develop
a unicorn.
He slowly could develop that third pitch.
Sure.
Now, I guess you could work on that while you're in the bullpen, too.
Oh, sack fly, Miguel Amaya. Hey, there you go. That's a manufactured run, buddy.
Need that.
Let's go. We're on the board.
I still have this feeling that when Assad comes back, they'll put Assad in the rotation, and Brown, depending on how he's pitching, Brown might either go to the bullpen or Iowa. Like if he's not pitching well, then I could see him going down to Iowa. If he is pitching well, then they'd be like, "Hey, there's a great fix for our bullpen." Or if he's just pitching like, 1 good, 1 bad, then they might try the bullpen thing first before sending him down. I don't know.
Right.
Find out. But I kind of feel like Assad will be starting when he comes back. I don't know. I don't know what their plan is. PCA. I heard today that PCA, I don't know that this is fact, but don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. I heard today that PCA has not barreled a baseball this season.
Really?
He has not put a ball in play that was barreled.
That I know he nearly hit a homer in Arizona. And what? He hit
it's
a
one
double.
Of those. Yeah, it's one of those.
I don't know.
Doesn't mean you can't hit a ball super hard without. Right. But he's definitely not off to a great start at the plate.
Yeah, it's very obvious that his spring and current regular season is night and day right now. But right. That's why I don't ever take the spring training results as like some big thing.
Well, it's like PCA and Tucker have reversed roles.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Right? Tucker couldn't hit anything in the spring. He's been great to start the season.
Right.
PCA had a great spring, and he struggled so far.
Mm-hmm.
In the chat, Assad's second half numbers weren't as good for walks to strikeouts. He had better bullpen numbers in 2020. Well, I think obviously Assad, that was Niran saying that in the chat. I think Assad can do either too.
Yeah, well,
he can be effective in both places.
My thinking with Assad and Niran, you are correct. Like he had some command problems in terms of walks, gave up a lot of hard contact. Defense really helped him out, right? But I think that he also pitched a career high in innings. So I think if you get him back in the role that you were using him in 2023, I think that season he made 10 starts, somewhere between 10 and 12 starts. And then he came out of the bullpen the rest. And I think he pitched around 100 innings. Like, to me, that's a really good situation for him. Because he's not going to overpower you, but he'll throw strikes. And he'll have random starts where he can get you 6 innings, but we pointed out a lot last year that he wasn't a guy that could ever really go deep for you in the games. You'd be happy if you got 5 out of him,
I think it'd be a funny thing to track the winter jackets of marquee sideline reporters throughout the spring. Taylor had like a white fur thing on yesterday, and Elise looks wrapped up. She's got a big, heavy jacket on.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Cohen in the studio was wrapped up in a parka the other day.
Yeah.
Cubs baseball
in April.
You're gonna need a jacket. That should be their spring logo. You're gonna need a bigger coat.
Yeah.
PCA has seen 173 pitches and
only take 35 balls.
That's got to change. He's aggressive.
Yeah. The thing about PCA, like the difference between him and Matt Shaw at this current moments of their career, is we've seen a lot of PCA. And so he's gotten a lot of at-bats. And something clicked with him in August last year and into September. Now, this year, it's like, it's early. I'm not going to freak 12 games in the season, but you're looking for a little bit of a leap, right? You're looking for a guy to show some improvement from last year, right?
I thought he could be the breakout player in the National League.
Yeah. Well, you weren't the only one. There was a lot of people who thought that. And I still think he can be, But, yeah, he's off to a little bit of a slow start here. We'll see how things go on. But I thought in Arizona he gave them good at bats, and he also had electric defense in that series. Pretty quiet over the series against the Padres, and everyone was hitting against the A's. So I don't know. I need to see more to have a worrisome thought.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Justin Steele just out here kind of getting some whiffs tonight. Love to see that. Corey Seager.
Everybody's wondering what I'm doing over here, just typing away. I'm just putting in our ad reads and getting the show ready for the post-game show. There's some prep work that's got to go in there. I'm not ignoring you. I see.
One of my favorite Cubs fans, Cassie Tompkins, is in the chat I believe lives in North Carolina. Huge Cubs fan. Met her at Wrigley Field last year.
Gary wants to know who you think's closing tonight. Well, let's see if they get to that point.
Yeah, let's see if we get there. It was be interesting to see how they use the bullpen tonight, because I would assume they want to use guys who haven't pitched. Now, I'm expecting to see Colin Ray in this game. I'm just expecting it. If we don't see Colin Ray in this game, that'd be wild. I don't know how many pitches Hodge pitched yesterday.
Here's our young guy, Wyatt Langford.
This guy's been pretty good for them.
It's just right that a kid from Texas is named Wyatt.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's from, but that he plays for Texas.
When we talked to Jeff Wilson about Wyatt Langford, he kind of gave us some perspective on how we need to be a little patient with Shaw and PCA. He had some good insight on Langford and his journey to this point. He really took off in the second half of last year. And fly ball into Ian Happ's glove. There we go.
We have a bandit there.
9 outs. What I need.
No, look at it snowing there at the game. Oh no,
I need 18 outs. Commercial. I need 18 outs from Justin Steele, and I'm at 9. I did bet Matt Shaw to walk today, this morning.
You did?
But then he wasn't in the lineup. Yeah. But we're going to see Gage Tater Workman here in the next half inning.
Yeah.
I did bet for Gage Tater Workman to get a hit tonight.
I should get in there for the home run on the cold. I came here for taters. Let's see.
Cassie says, would they give Ray a shot if Ben Brown continues to struggle? I think they would call up Wicks before they put Ray in the rotation. I really don't think, I think he might make a few spot starts, but I don't really think they want to put him in the rotation on a regular basis. If Brown is still struggling by the end of the month, I think they might option him and call up Wicks, or move Brown to the bullpen if there's some struggles in the bullpen and put Wicks in the rotation. So I don't know. That's what that's one of those two scenarios is what I would rather have than putting Ray in the rotation.
Who am I forgetting? Our friend from London that always watched.
Rachel.
Where's Rachel been?
I don't know. She likes our tweets all the time.
Where's Rachel at?
She hasn't been in our chat in a while. She might
be mad that we didn't go to London. We are too.
Yeah. Well, still upset about not going to Japan. Look at this baseball sky. Oh no, that's the commercial.
I just joked about that with the snow.
Mound ball. Did someone win any money tonight?
Nope, short.
That's a terrible roll by the umpire. Wow. What do we do?
I feel like he might
have been. She's like, the fans like, come on.
Can't even get it to the mound. I agree with you.
Yeah.
What kind of junk was that?
God. That guy kind of looks like, what's his name? The old umpire.
Yeah, West.
Yeah, Joe West. He kind of looks like that. Whoever this guy is, he sucks.
That's nice.
He sucks.
He might be a great person. Uh-oh. What did I just do here?
All right. Evaldi has
Birdie and Workman.
Workman and then Happer. Birdie. Remember when Birdie had 3 hits in Japan and he was the best hitter on the team?
I do. The John Birdie game.
Yeah, no one was talking about him though. Ugh. Really? That's a swing? We didn't call a swing earlier in the game against Berger? Come on now. Ron says he thought it was Joe West. He looked like Joe West, right?
It did look like Joe West. Joe West is even bigger than that guy, though.
I like Mad Mike's comment here. I'll read it here in a second after this pitch. All right. 1 and 2. He says, so are we disappointed not being able to get a chance at Vladdy? 14 years, $500 million contract. I'm sure we'll talk about it on postgame.
We will.
Well, I'll save my hot take about it for postgame. But all I will say is that if I'm a Blue Jays fan, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, he's so young still.
26?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Vladdy at first or Tucker in right if you could spend that money on one guy?
Tucker.
I'd rather have Tucker because I think Michael Busch can be your guy at first base.
Yeah.
I know he can be that guy defensively, but I think he can be that guy.
I mean, Vlad, 26 years old, Tucker, 28. But I think Tucker has more value. He gives you more. The defense is there. He's been more consistent as an offensive threat.
Don't get me wrong. I'm the one that started the whole rumor about trying to get Vlad
We both
Guerrero.
tried to.
Yeah.
We tried. All right, Birdie's kind of hanging in here.
Magic Wand Monday.
Yeah, Magic Wand one month.
Finally ran out.
Yeah. I do not miss doing Magic Wand Mondays. Man, the off-season content on this channel is going to be electric once we get there. Hopefully, because we're talking about the Cubs building a World Series contender because they just went to the NLCS. Now you need to get the reality spray out, Luke.
Yeah, I left it over there, but it's awfully cold to spray somebody with water today.
Yeah.
Got a Right On Optics ad today. Great partner.
Birdie's trying to go the other way here. Dr. Professor says, I'll be conservative and say Tucker only gets 2 homers today. Conservative. I like it. All right, 2-2 count to Birdie.
He
gets hit by a pitch.
That should count for 2 bases on a night like tonight.
Here comes Gage Tater Workman.
That's a 2 tater.
Let's go, Gage.
That's a double tater order right there. I came here for taters to see taters. How about that for a shirt? Would you guys buy that shirt? I'm just here for taters.
All right, Gage Tater Workman. Still
I think he might. This might be the night. Man, if I had my app open right now, I'd go wager this.
I just bet him to get a hit, to get a base, to get 1 base. It was plus 105 on Bet365.
Oh, he's getting a base tonight. Oh, Tater.
All right.
Birdie, John Birdie game 2.0. Here it
Can
comes.
you battle now, Tater? Can you battle now? Can you lay off that breaking pitch, get a fastball, hit it hard? Ugh. Just come on, Tater.
Oh, Tater.
100th career stolen base for John Birdie there. Congrats. Swung right through
Tates.
it. 3 pitches. Sits down. Ugh.
Get him next time.
There was something in my gut that told me that Gage was going to get a hit tonight. There was just something in the gut.
What'd you have for dinner?
This new meal that I learned. I didn't learn it from TikTok. I bought this cookbook.
Yeah, usually all your meals come from TikTok.
But this particular meal. Oh, John Birdie's still in 3rd.
Yeah, everybody's wondering why. Yes, we are behind, so don't ruin it for us.
Don't ruin it for us.
Because we're on the stream, we're behind.
Yeah.
That's the problem we ran into last time we did all the guests.
We're at bottom of the 3rd, 1 out. Who's at bat right now?
Hap.
Okay, yeah. Just so if people
Man
know.
at 3rd.
Yeah.
Oh, he got spiked on the hand, I think. No, he's all right.
So what I was saying, the crock pot, I have a cookbook that's just all crock pot meals, and they're like technically like low calorie, high protein meals from this guy that I follow on TikTok. Yeah,
meats are good in the crock pot.
And that's what I ate for dinner. This one, it's like a chicken bacon ranch, with and rice mixture.
I don't think there's anybody that is,
but it's like the ingredients I use.
Yeah, I feel like ranch is one of those things you're either in or out. There aren't too many people that are like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Our
people either love ranch or don't want ranch.
Emma, our social media guru, is not a ranch liker.
I'm not either. I don't like ranch.
She likes barbecue, though.
Well, I don't know if we needed the F word, Emma.
I like ranch.
My children could be watching this.
Birdie, get in there. Let's go.
Birdie, John Birdie.
Let's go.
Birdie.
John Birdie just owned the inning.
Actually, I hope my kids are asleep.
He got in pretty. That's great base running by John Birdie.
Well, he stole second. Did he steal third?
Yeah.
Stole 2 bases. How did he get on?
I think he got hit by a pitch.
He got plunked, stole 2 bases.
Look, he just sneaks
Great
in
slide.
there.
Great slide. Give me John Birdie. Good call by Joe West. I agree, Ron. Then he sang a country song about it. Uh-oh. Safe.
Tucker's got another chance at a base later. Damn.
Nobody's going to leave us for the basketball game tonight, right?
I sure hope not. Manufacturing runs. You're right, Cassie. I like that.
They've actually done a really good job of it.
Yeah.
Early in the season so far. How many walks are they going to get tonight? 8? We going to get 8 walks again?
Have they walked yet?
I don't believe so. Uvalde throws strikes. That's what we learned in our mini pod yesterday.
Yeah.
Uvalde's around the plate, throw strikes. Pitching's been good. Hitting's been hit or miss. They, what did they beat the Reds? 1-0 twice.
Yes, 1-0. Yeah. And then they've won 5 in a row coming into this game. So.
Oh, say yeah.
All right, 1-2 to Seiya. Ooh, he ripped that. Oh, what a play.
Yeah, but he's there, safe.
Okay. All right, infield hit.
Third, infield hit.
Who is that at third? Smith.
Smitty.
Who's Smith? Should I know who that is?
Smitty. We just call him Smitty. It's a nice play.
It's the sweatpants, guys.
Yeah, Birdie played for the Yankees last year.
He only played for 25 games, though. He got hurt. He looks healthy. Got something to prove. He was a 2-WAR player for 2 consecutive seasons for the Marlins. I don't know. He's showing value early on. Stealing bags. Playing decent defense. I know he had that bad defensive play in Japan. Yeah. Where he airmailed the ball or whatever. Yeah. But other than that, he's been fine.
Been a good signing.
Yeah. Solid bench piece.
Joel met him in Arizona. Says, good dude.
Good dude. All right. Welcome back, Joel. Michael Bush, he just had a double in his last plate appearance. Can he take another one the other way?
See people giving their recipes for ranch. Southwaite says, Hidden Valley powder plus buttermilk and mayo is like restaurant-style runny ranch. It's awesome. Listen, if you come here for the recipes, we don't mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead and share your favorite recipe with us in your chat while you're at it. Log on for the baseball, stay for the recipes. That's what I always say.
Mad Mike has a fun question that maybe we can do during the commercial break. Ron says, just get Jets Pizza Ranch. Jets Pizza Ranch is pretty good.
You like Jets Pizza?
I do.
I don't like Detroit style pizza.
Really? Well, I mean,
unless they want to be a sponsor, then I love.
If they're a sponsor, I love Detroit style pizza.
I prefer regular pizza.
Oh, that's another hit by
He's
pitch.
plunked 2 now.
Yeah.
And again, that should count for 2 bases.
Oh, and he's cursing out on the mound.
He's probably not happy he's pitching in this weather.
Probably.
His hands are probably numb. Oh, that hurts. Right up under.
We got Swanson
that rib
coming up
right up under
out.
the armpit. That hurts. Woo.
Bags
Don't spoil
loaded.
it for him. This is so serious.
Oh, you got 2 outs. I'm sorry, not 1 out.
This is so serious. Don't ruin it for us.
Do not spoil it for us, chat.
Dansby's due for a grand slam.
Sure. Bang. Oh,
nope.
That's a ball. Sorry.
This is big, though.
It's a big moment.
When you have bases loaded on a cold night where runs are going to be hard to get and you're up 2 runs.
Yep.
This is a critical point.
Joel says Little Caesars Detroit style is different.
Good team score here. Well, winning team would score here.
Yeah. Here we go. 1-0. He's got a hitter's count here. There it is. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
He got a 90-mile-an-hour pitch up in the zone. He's on the ground, though. Ugh.
Well, thankful for John Birdie, that's for sure.
Yeah, John.
Stealing bag. Look at that. Stealing third. Johnny Burtz.
Just you guys, I was going to say, you guys have a surprise guest that Jake let me know about.
Oh, really?
Oh, boy.
Is that Paul Pabst?
I don't know. There's a lot of pressure here.
That's what it says on the screen. So.
Oh, well, they know.
Hey, Paul, can you hear us?
Yeah, sounds good. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, we got you.
Welcome to the show.
Jake called. I was in the middle of dinner, dropped everything, told the family, I got to go. This is much more important.
Right.
I don't want to hear about your day, about school. That's Cubs. Right. It's 38 degrees. I got to check in with the boys.
Well, sorry to disappoint you, but we were just talking about ranch dressing 2 minutes ago, so it's not that much.
What's your take on ranch dressing?
Are you a ranch guy?
I have kids. They go through ranch like I should invest in ranch with my kids. Yeah. I'm not a big ranch guy. I've sometimes had like a mushroom Swiss burger and put ranch on it before, and that tasted pretty good. With wings, I almost always go blue cheese. I'm not blue cheese with wings. Ranch doesn't do it for me very much. I use it sparingly, but I'm not a ranchist where I file protest against it.
So what do you think of the Cubs so far this season? Obviously, you're a Cubs fan, but.
Yeah, I grew up a Cubs fan, and what bothered me last year about the Cubs was not that they were a bad team. They were neither bad nor really good. It felt like they didn't have a killer in the lineup. They didn't have someone that you had to walk or get past or you didn't want to face in the 9th inning. And that's what Kyle Tucker brings to the team. And, man, is that guy making money day by day. But, he's the kind of guy who's a brutal out. He's a tough out. And he has some star power. He's not nationally that famous, really, but he is a killer. And I didn't think that's what they had last year. And I think if they had him, they win 6 more games last year and you sneak into the playoffs.
Yeah. So does he get what Vlad got or does he get more? 500 million?
What I was going to say, when you said that he isn't well talked about or talked a ton about nationally, I think it's just because he was on a team that had Yordan Alvarez and Jose Altuve and Alex Bregman on it. And those teams, those guys had been there a lot longer. So he was a great player on a team full of other great players, and now he's the guy on the Cubs. And with a big market team like the Cubs, I mean, by the All-Star break, I think this guy could be talked about a heck of a lot more nationally because I think he's a top 20 player in baseball. So
yeah, he went to the right franchise. He went to a place where he's going to get a big stage. I mean, the town loves him. He's got a great start, and then baseball people nationally will start picking up on it if the Cubs are above 500. If they're not, then he's, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
We were debating though the Vlad Jr. versus Tucker, and we said if I was to give somebody $500 million, I would rather have Tucker, just because I think you have a solution at first base. Not that Michael Busch is as good as Vlad Jr., but I think Tucker would be my answer. So do you think he'll get $500 million from somebody or more?
It's weird to talk about this so flippantly, that it's not a big deal, but this is where the market is. And it's one of those things with the Cubs. It's like when Patrick Mahomes got the $500 million deal. And at the time, you're like, oh, my God. But if you have a sure thing, you pay for it in sports. And it's smart money. Throwing money at bad things, like Patrick Williams of the Bulls, doubling down on that contract, to me, nothing personal. I think he's like a B-minus player, but you paid him like B-plus, A-level money, and he's nothing special. He doesn't really help your franchise do anything. And you're spending a lot. I think that's wasted money. If you spend $500 million on Patrick Mahomes, that's a fantastic investment. And if you think of Kyle Tucker as a guy who's going to hit 315 and 37 home runs for a decade plus, okay, that's where you want to park your money.
Yeah, I think he's, like you said, he's earning money every time he comes up to the plate, it seems like. I mean, I think Cubs fan, I agree that nationally his name's not as big, but right. I think by the end of the season, if he can stay healthy, his name will have only grown, and I think his pocketbook will also equally grow this season.
Yeah, it's one of those bet on yourself things, and the farther you go down the season, the less chance they have to sign him during the season. I think it's one of those guys where he's going to say, oh, I have to go to the open market. These agents advise these guys. And even if Kyle Tucker, let's say he wanted to be a Cub for the next 10 years, his agent would be like, you just keep hitting 330, and I'll take care of everything in the offseason. They really tell players, hold off, because you got to look at the market. And you go back to, it's a different case, but Ohtani with the Angels years ago, they had to lock him down. They had to get him locked down before he became this global superstar, and they didn't. They waited and gave other teams a shot at it, and they never stood a chance with him. And the Dodgers just scooped him up.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, I've seen on Twitter since you've been back in Chicago, tweeting random pictures of like bars that you used to like hang out at. What's been your favorite? What's given you the most nostalgia since coming back here and hitting some old spots up?
It's been great. The past year, I've spent a lot more time back here, like in the Lincoln Park area, and then visiting my mom in the suburbs. But I went to Lottie's over in is that Wicker Park or Bucktown? Lottie's. I went to see the hockey, the USA versus Canada, and that place was packed. Yeah. Went to Cody's up in Lakeview the other day. Lots of dogs. That was really good. Best. Yeah, that's a nice place. Red Hot Ranch. I went to Red Hot Ranch 3 times in 9 days over in Ashland. Real proud of myself. Got my weight up for the season. So those are a few of them. But yeah, when I used to live in Chicago years ago, I was a bouncer, air quoting bouncer, because I couldn't bounce anybody. I was a doorman. I checked IDs. I used to work over on Armitage over on Sedgwick's years ago, and back when that was in business. So I love the pubs.
Oh yeah.
I think Lottie's is the bar that TV show Chicago Fire. First, they were filming there, using it as their bar for the firemen to go to, and then they actually paid Lottie's to like look at the set, and they built their own Lottie's just so they wouldn't have to keep going in and out of the bar. That's a popular place.
Piece of tidbit. Yeah, that's a really good place. Anywhere you can see. I always look at like, how far do I have to turn to see another TV? Can I pretend to have a conversation with someone? My eyes are up there at the TV over there. That's the big thing. How much do I have to swivel to see a TV?
Well, what's when you're in Wrigley, where do you normally get the beer? The pre Wrigley, or the post game?
Yeah, back in the day, Bernie's was probably my favorite when they were a little smaller. Everything was a little smaller there back in the day.
Right.
But another one of my early Chicago days, I used to do a little rooftop security for Cubby Bear at 3643 Sheffield, and that was one of my first jobs out of college. So fun place to work, but it gets so much. Every year you go to Wrigleyville, it gets so much more built up that it's shocking. The bars get bigger. The buildings. I'm having a trouble with seeing some of those buildings come down, but you can't stop progress for too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people argue that the charm of Wrigleyville is going away. I'm just kind of for, I get it. I want some of the old buildings, but I'm also okay with the bolt of new buildings coming in and just fresh new stuff in the neighborhood. You can't live there. You can't just live in the past forever. Was it cool to see the, Amos Catulli building? Yes. As long as they keep some of them. I don't want all of them to look the same, but I would like some of the old buildings to remain.
A couple of buildings outside of Wrigley that kind of block the view of the stadium themselves, they got a little big, a little bulky there. It just feels a little claustrophobic around there almost now. When it used to be a little more wide open. You can't sit in the Taco Bell drive-through at 2 a.m. around the corner from Wrigleyville, Wrigley Field anymore, but it's still great. I mean, you go in the stadium and it's still 90% Wrigley Field. Yeah, the scoreboard, but eventually you got to get a Jumbotron. Notre Dame tried to go old school as long as they can, but they have to keep up with the times in sponsorship. Or, if you fight the fight forever and say, we want to look like 1945 in here, well, then you're never going to be able to pay for a team. You got to have some type of things to embrace the financial things, because the Cubs do spend they're always in the top third of spending. And I think these are some of the things that go along with it.
Fair.
Let me ask you guys, what's your morale level of the Cubs? We're 2 weeks in, could have swept the Padres. I try not to react too much to April baseball, but how are you guys doing?
I feel good about it, Cody. Like, they have blown 2 bad games, right? Like, they should have beaten the Diamondbacks and won 3 out of 4. And they should have won yesterday's game. So there's 2 games you could already put a circle around it for the end of the season if you want to go back and say they blew that game, they blew that game. That's true, but a lot of good things have happened. Like Shota, some of us were worried, like, is he going to take a step back? It doesn't look like he's going to take a step back. He's been spectacular so far. Tucker's been everything as advertised. And some of the young players I think, Shaw has looked good in his opportunities so far. Would I like to see PCA play a little bit better? Yeah, okay. But I also love the fact that they're in cold weather walking as much as they are. Like, just getting on base.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen, I think if all plays out well, if the Cubs could go into the All-Star break, let's say they're just 5 or 6 games above 500 at the All-Star break, and you're in buying mode. And then you're like, okay, look, we got to get a closer. If you're going to do any damage in the playoffs, the closer right now, I don't want to get personal, but it just doesn't look like it's going to work out at a high-end level. And it doesn't look like it's going to work out in a playoff series. But you get to the second half of the season, the Oakland A's will be awful. They're just A's now. They're not even Oakland. It's just A's. It's like UPS. There's no town. But you could be a buyers with the bullpen guys after the All-Star break. I think you're going to be in good shape, because that's really, of course, everyone wants another bat for the home stretch. But if you're above 500 at the All-Star break, you bring in a closer and you trade a lot and get a high-end closer, I think that's where you enter the playoffs. You're like, oh, we could do some damage here, because we have Shota. We have a good defensive and a good, I'm not going to say great, hitting lineup, but that could be enough. Look at the Diamondbacks a few years ago. They didn't have superstars, but they had depth all around and energy and a likable lineup. And that's kind of, they kind of feel Diamondback-ish.
Yeah. Well, there's so many good in what you just said, but also it triggers PTSD because with how fans feel about ownership right now. And when Tom Ricketts is openly saying that he wants to be like the Cardinals or the Diamondbacks, it just rubs fans the wrong way. Now, in terms of being a consistent competitive team, competing for the playoffs every year, yeah, I can get on board with that. But I think, considering how much they charge for game day experience, season tickets, stuff like that, it's just like, I think fans deserve a little bit more effort into putting out a real product. But, that's a lot of stuff that we talked about during the offseason. And despite that, I felt like the team or Jed Hoyer still put together a really competitive roster. And, going and get Kyle Tucker was like the bold move that I feel like I'd been waiting for 3 years for him to complete.
Right.
And, in hindsight, who knows what happens, whatever happens in the offseason, or if they do find a way to extend him. But as far as this team right now, considering the schedule they have played, like what? Yeah. Dodgers in Japan, then they played Arizona in Arizona. The A's was a great series, and to be honest with you, me and Luke both picked them to make the playoffs. Like, we think they're an improved team. And then to watch them do what they did against them, it's like, well, maybe me and Luke just don't know what we're talking about.
Maybe we'll take that back.
Right? And then, they blew the game yesterday, but they still won 2 out of 3 against a pretty solid Padres team. This April schedule is tough. So to me, just be able to sit here at 7-5 right now is, it could be 9-3, but you're in a good spot. I would say
get to
that
500.
I would say that I'm still where I was entering the season, optimistic. I picked them to win 90 games, so I'm my feelings haven't changed. But a lot of we have seen a lot of the same kind of stuff that can be a little bit alarming at times. But
what stood out of what you said is with ownership of the Cubs is that if you own the Cubs, you have one of the only franchises in sports that is a tourist attraction. The Red Sox, a lot of people go to Fenway, Dodgers a little bit, but there's nothing like it. And I don't think I lived in Chicago my whole life and I left for a long time. And I don't think you realize what an appointment event for sports fans is to go to Wrigley Field. I know people who don't even like baseball who go, I got to see Wrigley Field sometime in my life. And so you're always going to sell tickets and have the game day experience in the bars and the restaurants. So Ricketts knows that even if the product on the field is, like a C-, there's a fan base out there of tourists and outsiders that are going to come and spend their money and go to that hotel across the street. And that is actually not a great thing for the hardcore Chicago Cubs fan, is that attendance will never be 8,000 a game. It's never going to happen because it's like Disney World. They're always selling tickets. And it's one of those good and bad things. It's great for the franchise and for the city that it's the biggest tourist attraction. To me, it's like if you've ever been to Ireland and you ever go to the Guinness factory, it's like a pilgrimage for beer drinkers.
You have to go.
And that's what you have to go. And I've been there like 3 times. And it's the biggest tourist attraction in Ireland to go to a brewery to drink beer. I mean, it's awesome. But that's what Wrigley Field is. It's a national tourist attraction beyond baseball and sports.
Yeah. You're right. I've been to Ireland. I don't drink Guinness, and I still took the tour. You have to do it. Well, that's why Wrigley Field is the #1 tourist attraction in the state of Illinois. That's why when they were trying to get funding for the renovations of Wrigley Field, the Ricketts family was like, "Well, look, listen, if you're going to give it to Jerry, and you're going to build him this ballpark back then, U.S. Cellular 2 or whatever you want to call it."
Right.
His argument was like, there's nobody going there. We're the #1 tourist attraction in Illinois. Eventually, they ended up doing it with their own money, which is the way everybody should redo it if you're a billionaire. And we shouldn't be paying for any of it. In my opinion, fans and taxpayers should not be paying for new ballparks when the owners are billionaires.
But, billionaires don't get to be billionaires by paying for everything themselves.
That's right.
So, to kind of round it all out, I think when you look at the product on the field, it's competitive. It can be if the stars align with a lot of these dudes and some of these young guys kind of take a leap like Pecor Armstrong and Matt Shaw and maybe Michael Busch takes a bigger step from last year. Like to go with Happ and Tucker and Swanson and Horner, it's like, this team could surpass more than 90 wins, certainly, especially with this pitching staff and the way they defend. But you look at the Dodgers in LA and you're looking at how much money they're spending.
You can't watch it. You got to just ignore the Dodgers. You got to pretend they're not in baseball. You got to just put your blinders on and look at the Cubs as they are and say, look, we got to get to the postseason. They have to get to the postseason. And maybe the Dodgers will have a couple injuries or they'll just have a bad outing or two. Because if you try to look at – and Cubs are a big market. But if you compare it to what's going on with the LA Dodgers, they're deferring hundreds of millions of dollars. They found loopholes to pay guys 7-8 years from now. And the Cubs aren't doing that. Nobody's doing that. But they're almost like unlimited resources with the Dodgers. So you just have to ignore it. So I got a couple Cubs things for you. I didn't have time to get props. But years ago on the Dan Patrick Show, Dan threw out the first pitch, and we went out there with him, and they let us sing the 7th inning stretch. Yeah. We got this nice 7th inning stretch singer hat. I'm pretty sure only Dan's mic was on when we were singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game because we were singing our little hearts out, and it didn't sound like in my ear that anything was happening. The other thing is I was at a Cub game, I would say 2010, and got there kind of early, got in the ballpark early, which is weird. And I was standing underneath the scoreboard. I was just had time to look around. And if you go to the scoreboard at Wrigley Field, there's like this little iron ladder and it It looks like a submarine opening, and you go up into the scoreboard. And I'd never been in the scoreboard at Wrigley Field. I think most people on earth have never been in the scoreboard at Wrigley Field. It's off limits. They don't allow people to look at it and visit it. Well, I snuck up, and I just made up something to the guys that were up there, and they believed me. And I ended up working 2 innings in the scoreboard. And there's these old guys there. This is probably 15 years ago. And I just made up a story to get up there and like, oh, yeah, great. Oh, yeah. And I go, can I run numbers up? And they're like, yeah, you want to? Because they were sitting there watching like a Zenith 19-inch TV with rabbit ears. And they're 60, 70, 80 years old, these guys. And I'm sweating running up and down the stairs. It was the thrill of a lifetime. I was like, couldn't believe it. And I just got out of there. And I didn't tell the story for like 7 or 8 years, like statute of limitations. And I told it on the Dan Patrick Show. And the Cubs people were like, hey, man, good for you. They're like, you pulled it off. You didn't hurt anybody. You didn't mess with anybody. So they said I could come back someday and work another shift at the scoreboard. So hopefully I get that chance.
Now they put a padlock on it.
Yeah, I've never been in the scoreboard. I think that's on the bucket list still for me.
I got to do it once, and the day that I did it for a story, it was like 98 degrees, and it was so unbelievably hot that I thought I was going to vomit. Oh, wow. Like it was
no airflow up there.
No, it was outrageously hot. So they work hard up there on those summer days. Let me tell you, you think it's hot in the bleachers. Put yourself in a metal box that's working like an oven.
By the way, I know you guys are watching the game. Before I go, I also noticed not a lot of Cubs guys are wearing those big fleece things around their head. There's nothing softer than wearing those as a baseball player. I know it's 39 degrees tonight, but you just go out there and play. You could go long sleeve if you want, but you can't wear the like you're hunting in a duck blind in Iowa.
You just know that Adolis Garcia is just not comfortable. Based on, like, because he's one of the few that is wearing when you can only see his eyes. Like, you could just tell that he's just
Aramis used to wear it, or you could just barely see his eyes and his mouth.
He had like the fur thing. Like remember when you were in 4th grade? I think he had the fur thing around it.
There's a reason he always get hot in June and July.
Real quick before you go, I just have a question. What was your first Cubs game? Do you remember the game and what happened or what it was like?
Of course. I think everyone does. I was 6 years old. My uncle picked my sister up and I, and he had a purple Chevy Le Mans convertible. And we were rolling downtown on Lakeshore Drive, top down, white seats, 80 degrees, scalding hot, just getting sunburned. This is a long time ago. I didn't have a seatbelt or sunblock on. I was a real man, even at 6 years old. We get to the ballpark. I walked out, and I had only seen Wrigley Field on WGN and Harry Carey. And to walk out there, and you could smell popcorn. I can remember smelling popcorn and like stuff. And then we walked out, and it just opens up, and it's just like you see on TV. And as a 6-year-old, I still remember what section we walked out on, the number and the seats. And it was just the most gorgeous thing I'd ever seen in my life at age 6. And Ivan DeJesus struck out to end the game for the Cubs. It was a long time ago. And as he's walking back to the dugout, a woman swings her purse from behind she tries to hit him with her purse. She was mad because he struck out with 2 men on. And little Paulie Papp's sitting there going, is this how it works? If big leaguers strike out, do women just swing their purses at him? Is this a tradition on the North Side? Because I've been to Sox games and I didn't see this. But that was my first Cubs game, and it was a great experience. I'm from the South Side, and I went to a lot more White Sox games with my friends, and that was a completely different experience back then. You'd park your car and pray that it was there when you got done. But my first Cubs game was pretty awesome.
Awesome, man.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, and hopefully we'll do it more often. Be fun.
You're more welcome to just come in and hang out with us.
That's an official invite, even if it was a fake invite. More than welcome is what you say when you really don't want to invite someone. But I'm going to take that as an actual invite.
No, we want you to come in and do it. In fact, we'd like you to do a beer bat chug if the Cubs win with Cody. He does a beer bat chug.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get a guest to come in that will do it faster than what Cody does.
I got to tell you, I'm more of a pacer. I wish I was a sprinter with chugging. I'll finish it. I'll complete the process like a catch. But, even if the Cubs lose, I'll do the beer bat chug.
All right. Nice.
Go. All right.
Great Paul Papp. Hey, thanks for jumping on. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Anytime.
It's still 2-0 nice Cubs. But yeah, there was. Yeah. Obviously famous from the Dan Patrick Show.
Yeah. Which is, I did not expect that. And I'm like, I'm just gonna be honest. You jumped on. I'm like, the guy from the Dan Patrick Show was on the live with us right now. I was like, what is going on?
I think I remember being there at Wrigley when Dan Patrick sang the 7th inning stretch, and those guys came up to the press box. Yeah.
Nice. So while he was on, we had some moments. PCA walked. I think he stole a base, but they couldn't get him in.
He did steal.
Gage Workman had a bad strikeout.
Yeah,
saw the
bad.
Chats freaking out.
King Tuck.
King Tuck.
King
he hit
Tuck.
another one. He hit another one.
No.
Oh, that whoever is running the camera at Marquee owes me an apology, bro.
104.6.
Oh.
And a bandit in right field caught it.
Oh. Dude, no, anyone who overreacted to that is on Marquee, the way they did the camera angle.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you need to overreact. I mean, he hit it to the wall. On a normal day, it's out.
Yeah.
Oh. It's 32 degrees and the wind's blowing in.
Yeah.
And he just missed it. Just missed it. If we could just get a fan with longer arms, we could get a little interference that'd be questionable, and we get ourselves the old Ohtani homer.
I would have won a bet if that ball went out, man. Ugh. I need one more base.
Cutting it down by 3 feet to right. Yeah. So 3 to 5 feet. That was the difference.
Yeah.
Probably just makes the basket.
That's kind of similar to good old Pat Wisdom last year, hitting that 114 mile.
He's watching it and laughing on the iPad, like, yeah, I thought it was out.
He's like, this is what it's like to play here.
He just sat here and goes, I'm not re-signing here.
Don't say that out loud.
He just chuckled. No way. No, I don't think that was it. I think he just laughed at me. Like, man, they were right. The ballpark does play pretty different some nights.
Yeah.
He'll enjoy the 25-mile-an-hour wind blowing out someday too, and say that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Wrigley is just a very unique park, man.
By the way, Steele rolling along, only 2 hits.
I need three outs to complete the parlay that I tweeted this morning.
I didn't want Paul to have to stay too long. I was going to ask him, who's your ace? Shota has been the ace this season in that he's pitched better than Steele, but Steele's got a nice outing going. And based on how much they've been using the bullpen, it'd be nice if he could stretch this out as long as possible.
Mm-hmm. Say a walking?
Yeah, okay. Say a walk. What number walk is that for the Cubs?
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
80 pitches for you all. Let's get him out of there. Time to take him out, Mike.
Is that Mike Maddox? He's been their pitching coach for a long time.
Yeah, he won a World Series with him, yeah.
Well, just 2 years ago, right? Yeah. But he's been there for a really long time, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be wrong on that.
No, I think he's been there a long time.
Okay.
Jake Burger.
Say ya. Well, we're up 2-0. Bottom of the 5th. Steele's got a decent pitch count. Looks like, we're right. I feel like the Cubs need at least one more run.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Even though I think it's hard to come by runs, they need another one.
Nice stolen base. He was not looking.
He had a couple stolen bases.
He stole that base easy. And then he stares at the Cubs dugout like, yeah, buddy.
Two for Birdie, one for
Seiya,
one for PCA.
PCA.
They have at least 4 stolen bases.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Steele's got 5 strikeouts. I wish he didn't have the 2 walks.
Yeah, but he's kept runners off the bases tonight for the most part.
Well, I mean, when the weather's like this, you don't have to be
perfect.
You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to be picky about where you're throwing it. Like, some guys are up there, they don't really want to hit.
Yeah.
Whoosh.
I will say, Evaldi, he's really gutted this one out considering the conditions.
That was just their second walk.
Just their second. Yeah.
2 walks.
Joel says
3
that
hits.
Maddox has been there since Bochy got there. God. Bush caught in between. He swung at that. He
was there for the World Series. Yeah.
Last at bat, gets that pitch, doesn't swing. Ugh. 1-2. Can we get the big 2-out hit?
Is that the jacket you like that Counts has? Or was it a hoodie that he had?
It was a hoodie. That on Saturday he was wearing like that powder blue, legendary blue.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
If you watch his post game, he's wearing.
Yes, I've seen it. Never mind, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's part of the new legendary blues collection.
Looks like a nice jacket too.
Yeah, it's a nice jacket.
Wonder if it's like that, like thermal, cuts the wind down.
Here's a question. I'll save it. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Michael.
How
did that not? How's that foul? Can I get a replay? Based off the camera view, it was like that. It looked like that ball was fair. But show me again.
Does Michael Busch look a little bit like Gage Workman?
It's foul. That's foul. Yeah.
Workman and Busch. Is it just the beard?
It's the beard. I don't really. Yeah, I think it's just the beard.
With the helmet, batting helmet on.
Yeah, I guess I can kind of see.
I can't say.
You didn't go. You didn't go. Nice take, Bushy. I'm not a fan of that nickname.
Bushy?
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
What about Brownie
Sarah's
for Brownie?
Me this funny look. I'm sorry for saying it.
Just get your head out of the gutter.
I don't. It's not in the gutter.
It's a hockey nickname. It's a Y or an ER.
Oh, there it is.
That one gets down and into the corner.
2 doubles for Michael Busch tonight.
See, that's why you don't need Vlad Jr. Right there. He's going
for three.
He's going for 3.
All right, Mike.
He feels limber. Don't pull anything, please.
Mike, let's go, Mike. That's the one.
3-0. That's a big one. You're going to pinch hit for me? Manufacturing runs. A walk, a stolen base, and a triple.
This would be a good time to remind all our CHGO Cubs listeners to not only subscribe to the new CHGO Cubs YouTube channel, but also tune in to our CHGO Cubs post-game show right after this game. And just so everyone knows, we will be turning the chat off from the CHGO Sports channel. We will still be streaming on both of those platforms, but if you want to chat and interact with us, you have to go to the CHGO Cubs YouTube channel, and you have to subscribe.
So professionally
Thank you very much. Also, Sarah, how about the shirts? Can we see the merch? We have new merch this season. If you haven't seen it, you can still buy all the old merch, right? That's all still available. We got some great shirts there. The 4 shirts, and when we get to 2,000 subscribers, the final one will be available for purchase, which is the one I believe in the top left corner. The baseball with the script CHGO across it. The other 3 are available for purchase already. When we get to 2,000 subscribers, which we're not that far away, just a couple hundred, I think, right? When we get there, then that one will drop and be available to be purchased right away. And also, if you become a diehard, you get a free shirt when you sign up to be a diehard. You can pick a free shirt. It could be one of those shirts right there. Shay was worried we were going to turn off the chat during the post-game shows. No, only on the main channel.
Only on the main channel.
Not on the CHGO Cubs channel. I agree, Christian. Tuck just missed that homer.
Yeah.
Do we like it? That's not technically the City Connect jersey, right? Becky's asking about the City Connect. That is just their alternate.
Their alternate legendary blues. Yeah. That's what they're called.
We are, what is it? I got a math. We are 267 subscribers away from 2,000 subscribers. That will then allow you to buy the shirt on the top left, the Northside Baseball CHGO Cup shirt. So subscribe.
I don't know if I used that right.
We're serving.
I said serve. Survey says.
To answer Becky, I do like the City Connect jerseys. I have a Dansby Swanson one, and I really want a PCA one.
The Wrigleyville City Connect? Yeah.
The navy blue ones.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite. You said you like the baby blue
I
ones
like
more.
the baby blues better than the Wrigleyville City Connect. I like them both, but I still think if I were to if I were to purchase a jersey today, you still would go with the home jersey. The home pinstripes. If you're only going to buy one.
Well, Michael Bush looking like the guy right now. Him and Justin Steele. Kind of the story. John Birdie had his inning.
Well, this is Dansby's second chance. He didn't come through with the bases loaded, grounded out.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's got a runner at third, a chance to give him 4 runs in the 5th here. See if he can get him. Hey, by the way, so Niren is mentioning the baby blue. Everybody's talking about the baby blues. Mm-hmm. The baby blues, the numbers, the font for the numbers. No, it's the old Montreal Expos. That's how the numbers used to be, I swear, for the old Expos jerseys. Dansby, no dice.
No dice.
3 runs on 4 hits.
Hey, man.
Manufactured them.
Manufactured. You got the big 2-out hit you needed.
A guy that got plunked scored, and a guy that walked scored.
Yeah. Let's go.
And the other one was 2 base hits.
Oh, had a yawn there.
I'm curious in the chat.
I lost my train of thought before Bush hit that double.
You did?
Yeah. We were talking about something. What were we talking about before the Bush double? Or
turkey meatballs? Were we talking turkey meatballs?
No, we weren't talking about turkey meatballs.
The jerseys? I was talking about the lettering, the numbers on the new powder blues. It's 100% the old. I can see Tim Raines and Andre Dawson as an Expo wearing those jerseys with that type of font on the numbers.
Maybe it'll come back to me.
I saw them and I was like, whoa, they look a lot like old Expo numbers.
Yeah.
If you could only buy one jersey, if this season somebody said you need or want to buy one jersey, mm-hmm. and they're going to give you the money to go ahead and buy it, that changes things. But if you're using your own money, what jersey are you buying? A lot of people, would it be Tucker? Or are you too worried that he won't be here and it won't last long enough?
So, well, the counterpoint to that, or my counterpoint to that, is that I love obscure jerseys. So if it is just 1 year of Tucker, and in 10 years we'll just be like, oh yeah, remember that guy?
Great Tucker jersey.
And then we can talk about how, like, it's almost like the Nomar Garcia Parra jerseys that I still see today. You know what I mean? So that's my counterpoint to that. Like, I'm sure there are fans that aren't going to buy one just because they don't know if he's going to be here. I don't really care if they're going to be here or not. I have Rizzo, Bryant, Baez. What
if you're buying it for, this isn't, not necessarily for you, but in the chat, if you're buying it for a small kid, a little kid, their first jersey.
That one's a PCA.
See, now I think it's something like that, or I go old school and buy him a Banks or a Sandberg, or something that's sustainable.
Yeah.
But that's not the way it works with little kids. Little kids want whatever is cool, whatever they can see now.
That's why I said PCA.
I would guess it's probably PCA.
Yeah. And then I think like the Gen Zs right now, the people around like Sarah's age, they're going for like the Steels and like the Horners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steele.
By the way,
we are 71.
We are 2 outs away to glory to win a parlay, my friends. I had no runs first inning and Steele over 17.5 outs.
Becky mentioned Javi Baez in center field. I heard he had a great tag against the White Sox, though.
Yeah. He seems happy and healthy this year. I haven't looked at the numbers, but he looks to be like contributing to the Tigers early on here, which I'm absolutely
kind of all over the
about.
place. I am too.
I'm happy about it. And I saw a highlight of Chris Bryant hitting an RBI single the other day too. So good for those guys, man. All right.
I wish that the live chat could send us emojis and photos. Yes, Sarah doesn't.
Sarah's glad you can't.
No, I do. I wish I could I wish I could see somebody like send me a picture of the old Expos jersey next to the new one with the numbers on, because I'm telling you, it's the same font.
I would just be worried that
little check swing to get Langford there.
Ellis Valentine, I could see him wearing it. Oh, he dropped the ball.
When we have those very dramatic chat nights, that's where I would be worried. That people can send like GIFs and emojis or.
Well,
I told you Steele is going to have a good game tonight. He knows how to pitch in the cold weather.
Yeah, he's used to this.
Yep, he knows.
The Rangers are attacking early in the count too, but the thing here is that he is generating a lot of ground balls.
Beautiful.
Right? Garcia's up. He's 1 for 2. He's had 2 innings where he's pitched he's made 10 or less pitches. The second inning, he threw 20 pitches. He's been, since the 3rd inning, he's been strong. Quick innings.
Oh, that's fine.
Wind
Too
blowing
cold.
Wind blowing in.
We got a bandit there.
Yep. Well, I just won a parlay. Let's go.
Congratulations.
Who says you can't win parlays? I tweeted today that this is the absolute lock of the night as far as a parlay. No run first inning with Steele over 17.5 outs. It's just not even hard, man. What a moment. Anyway.
Is there I see Corey has been saying he also doesn't like Boog calling him Bushy. Do you like Bushy, Brownie? Do you like Happer?
I don't mind Happer.
Tuck?
Tuck is fine. King Tuck is what they've all been calling
Dansby
him anyway.
Doesn't really have a nickname, right?
Lieutenant Dans.
Yeah, but
he doesn't need a nickname.
That's trying too hard. I'm talking about the bad hockey nicknames,
Mm-hmm.
Miggy.
Yeah, I mean,
Shane's right. I love the low pitch kind of. Yeah, let's get 7.
Nico doesn't have a nickname. It's just Nico.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And then what's Shaw's?
Shawzer. Just like hockey, Shawzer.
Yeah.
Prevagen, they advertise quite a bit on Cubs baseball. Right? Don't they? Every time I look up, it's Prevagen.
Since we
what
launched,
are they trying to tell me?
You have brought that up so many times. Cody, why do you think Boog is so unlikable as the Cubs announcer to the fan base? I think, and this is not my opinion, but I think a large portion of the fan base doesn't like Boog because...
This is just your guess.
This is my guess, yeah. It is because he comes off as like a national voice. You don't when you listen to Alex Cohen on Sunday, you can tell that he really follows it. He's been really following the team for more than just a few years. And when we had Alex Cohen on last year, he told us about his first time he went to Wrigley back in 2008 and kind of started following the team then and this and that and whatever. He didn't grow up a Cubs fan.
Right.
But he kind of became one, right? And so I just think that your home play-by-play announcers. Ooh, Amaya?
Yeah,
nice. Nicely done. So Amaya's got a sac fly and a single now. So anyway, I feel like that a lot of fans just aren't resonating with him. It's not like Lynn Casper even. And with Lynn, it even took Lynn a little bit too whenever he first came on, because before him it was Chip Carey and Steve Stone, right? And I guess there are a few calls Boog has had that's kind of made him a little bit more likable, like the Tauchman catch in St. Louis and the Morel walk-off against the White Sox was a great call, right? Like he's had some good calls, but again, it's just my guess that a lot of fans aren't into him as much because he just sounds like a national voice.
I think, and again, this is a guess too. I think, first of all, I think there's lots of people that like Boog.
Yeah, no, there
as
are.
a broadcaster.
Yeah.
I think the Cubs are a very old school mom and pop because of WGN. That's why everybody loved WGN. They got over it once it changed in the day. But I think there's a bunch of old school Cubs fans that just want their guy to be their guy.
Yeah.
And not the national voice. They want their guy. They want Harry Carey to only be doing Cub stuff. They want Len to only be doing Cub stuff.
There's a reason that I wish they'd give us Sutcliffe a little bit more because he has that Ron Santo type vibe. Like the full-on homer. I'm not asking Boog to be the full-on homer, but it just, again, sometimes he comes off as like a national voice, and he does I don't know, maybe we need more time, I don't know. I don't mind him, but he doesn't resonate with me like Lynn Casper did.
I tell you what, I listened to him last night on the way home with the buddy Doug Glanville on the radio. Somebody just said he's great on the radio.
Can we pause?
The radio broadcast was great.
Pause real quick. Did PCA just turn that ground ball into a double?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And Amaya's over at third.
Yeah.
And you can only see a piece of his eye. He's got one eye out, and the rest is covered. Because he hit one
through the hole, and we were talking, and I looked over, and PCA's on second. So anyway, go ahead.
It was a great broadcast. I was stuck in traffic, and I was just enjoying them talking baseball.
Yeah.
He really does. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't do a great job on TV. His voice really is exceptional, I think, on radio. Does a great job of painting the picture when you can't see it. That's John Cusack, is it not? Frozen? Front row?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Seat 17, frozen like an ice cube.
Can Tater come through finally?
This is Tater's chance. He's had a couple.
It is currently 33 degrees out.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows.
And Med, what's the wind chill, though?
-33.
It's not -33. I bet you it's below freezing, though.
I think to solve everyone's problem with Boog, just turn Pat Hughes on.
The accurate wind chill is 22 degrees. Feels
Thank
like
you.
22.
Feels like 22.
That's cold.
Listen, nobody's going to... Boog needs some great moments to call.
Yeah.
Boog hasn't had a lot of great moments. Have there been some... Yeah, but he hasn't had a great team to call.
Sure.
And I think, when your team's good and you hear the calls over and over, it sort of changes it. When you're doing rebuilding, you're calling the game. It's a tough job. And I agree with the national voice thing that I think there's something about Cubs baseball. Workman's had a tough game.
Yeah.
Tough game.
The thing with Workman, I warned people in the spring, man. Like, this guy has not taken any AAA at bats. And he was in AA and had alarming K rates. I'm not saying spring training results don't fully matter, but I don't know. I just
got to be here to stay here.
Yeah, he's just got. This is what I'll say. This, I think the Cubs care more about his defense than what he's doing on offense. But my hope is that as the season moves along, he finds a way to adjust. But he's also going to need the at bats.
Yeah.
But you also have to play Matt Shaw, so it's a very.
There we go. Get through.
There you go, Happer. Hey,
PCA scoring on that too.
Let's go.
2 more.
Hap comes through. 5-0 Cubs. Let's go. So Hap
now, if you were on Bet365,
yeah, you would win your bet. If you bet Cubs money line tonight, you would win your bet right now.
One of our great sponsors, Bet365. Yeah. Well, they're going to score 5. They've got 5 runs. Uvalde pitched well, and they have no homer. I mean, that's not hit hard.
Yeah.
But it's in the right spot. And you have guys running the bases hard. They've been really good running the bases. It's another steal.
Another stolen base.
Hap's got one. PCA's got one. Saya's got one. Birdie's got 2.
Well, this is a nice little response to yesterday.
Wait, Tucker with a guy at second. Add another one, huh? Add another one.
I just need a base and I win a bet. Come on, Tuck. Off the plate. Okay. Shane Newbanks, DFA Hap, should have hit a homer instead. The biggest Hap detractor.
21 stolen bases this season
that I know.
Only one caught stealing. All right, here comes a run.
There he is. King Tuck.
There it is.
King Tuck. It's a run.
Easy, and he goes to second.
Oh, if only that didn't hit his leg. Could have kept rolling. Let's go. You knew Kyle Tucker was going to avenge that last at bat.
Yeah.
It's
over the plate. You don't want that with this guy. Buy your Tucker jerseys now. Now you just get greedy, right?
I mean, listen, with this bullpen, as many runs as you can get, man.
They have.
I'll say this, though. For this bullpen, it's when you're up 6-0, you find yourself not needing to be absolutely perfect, right? That doesn't mean you can just go out there and throw meatballs down the plate, but no. I am saying that you don't have to be perfect. So
yeah, they got 5 stolen bases.
You know, let's go, dude. If all things go well, we'll be undefeated on the watch-alongs. Still.
And winless on Sundays.
Yeah.
Whose idea was it to do these Sunday shows?
A combination of me and because Corey and Brendan said they're doing Thursdays.
Corey and Brendan were like, we got to get off Sunday.
Yeah. They were like, we can't do Sundays anymore.
They never win.
Say a little bloop shot.
It's getting down. I told you 7.
So the BABIP gods have loved the Cubs tonight. You love to see that. Let's go, dude. Seven zip.
It's just knowing how to hit.
Yeah.
Dropped it in there.
Well, I think on a night like tonight, just putting the ball in play is a big thing.
It is.
Yeah.
Those outfielders don't want to really run too hard, and if they want to, they can't.
Yeah.
Bush has a triple. Scott C. from Iowa says Tucker's getting 15 years, $700 million this offseason. I don't think it'll be that high.
I don't think it'll be that either. He's not 26 years old. He's 28, going to be 29 next season. I don't think it'll be that.
I don't think it's going to be 15
Bush
years.
Bush going
either.
for a 3-for-3 night?
Steele's like, guys, it's getting a little chilly over here. I'd like to go back in. Now we have enough runs. We don't need a 3-hour game or anything. Shane needs a water spray from the reality spray. Thinks the Cubs are going all the way this year. They got the power. They got the speed.
Yeah. Joel says Rangers bullpen is on the same level as ours, so a lot of offense from both teams wouldn't be hard to come by. Yeah.
Yeah, we're only the 6th inning. Oh, my. I'm going to have to go have a Rice Krispie treat.
Well, then you're in that. That's you trying to entice a rally then.
No, it's not. So keep me awake crispy. We might get some fast at bats from the Rangers right now, though.
Right.
You know what I mean? The 7th, 8th, and 9th could go real quick for the Rangers, even if it's a bullpen time eventually. You're down 7-0 and you're freezing and you're used to playing indoors and you live in Texas during the season. You're probably ready to pack it up and go back to the hotel for the night. Yeah. Check my old app here and see tomorrow 24 degrees and sunny and 7 a.m. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I got on is
sunny. It's going to be sunny up to 40 degrees.
Ron asks you, Luke, hey, Luke, have you had a Rice Krispie treat from Noodles and Company? Or was there? Oh, no. Actually, I have. And they're not like rice, like they're not like the brand Rice Krispies, but they make their own.
They make their own, yeah.
Yeah, they make their own.
They probably use generic Krispies, huh?
Perhaps, I don't know.
Are they the giant size? You know, like sometimes they sell them at places and it's like a brick and you get excited. You're like, oh, it's a big Rice Krispie treat. Then you bite into it and it's like a rock. Yeah. The thing that is good about the actual Rice Krispie treats is that they're kind of chewy and soft.
Mm-hmm.
My mom used to make them with peanut butter every once in a while, peanut butter Krispies. And I think she also made them with butterscotch every once in a while. Like butterscotch chips melted in there. Ooh, Rice Krispies. Has anybody seen the national? I have not seen the national championship.
James Colstock's comment. Rick gets offered a baseball Jesus. 0 years, 1 continental breakfast, 1 ticket for airport shuttle.
1 continental breakfast.
I'll take one.
Oh yeah, I will.
Just like hang. Yeah.
These are not rally Rice Krispies.
These are not rally. We got 7 runs. I'm good. All right.
These are let's play in less than 3 hours.
Well, the game started at 6:40. It's 8:27, so we're still under 2 hours here in the 7th inning. So, Does
that say only?
What? What are you looking at?
The national championship game?
The national championship
game? There's only 4 minutes left in the half, and it's only 29-21.
Who's winning?
Houston.
Ugh.
Houston by 8. That is low scoring.
Well, yeah, Houston's defense. They're one of the slowest
get
teams
some
in basketball.
weed Rice Krispie treats.
Who wants some ASMR?
I don't know what that means.
Stucky doesn't know what ASMR is. Sarah, you should explain what ASMR is to Stucky.
First of all, I'm not going to demonstrate out because I'm not very good at it. But for example, when we have like microphones like this, like there's eating ASMRs and stuff, and it's you just talk about. No, not like it's strictly just sounds, not like moans. It's just like sounds.
Now you're just getting real dirty over there, Stuck.
So like something
getting real weird. You got me sitting right next to you and them over there.
Well, I don't know if Luke would believe me.
What about Bob? Faye. Mashed potatoes, Faye.
A really popular one is people have microphones like what we have, and then people take like glue sticks and they rub it against the microphone, and that's like an ASMR. Or they'll like tap their phones with their nails.
Can you not say what it stands for?
Let me Google it. Oh yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just ASMR.
That's a nice play by Gage.
You guys are so out of it.
Autonomous sensory meridian response. So, boom.
Didn't even know what it was. I'm supposed to trust you guys for my cool kids.
Vanilla Chill goes,
lingo.
Stucky doesn't need to know what ASMR is.
Shay says, CHGO after dark, only Stucky.
I'll just eat like donuts and be like, those are good donuts. I've made Emma snort 3 times, and we're only in the 7th inning. What's somebody saying about Baskin-Robbins? If you guys want to enjoy some sweets in that weather, I recommend Baseball Nut from Baskin-Robbins.
Okay.
Listen, okay. That's a 4 snort.
There's a Baskin-Robbins right by where I live.
Okay, let me just say this. They're not a sponsor. We're not working any deals with them. If you're eating your ice cream at Baskin-Robbins, shame on you.
If they were a sponsor.
But if they're a sponsor, I've always loved Baskin-Robbins.
I've always loved them.
What flavor is my favorite? All of them.
All of them.
I mean, first of all, get yourself some frozen custard instead.
Yeah, Culver's. Yeah.
You got a place out in the burbs.
There's a
Andy's.
There's a
Mundelein, Greg's. But none of them compare to Kopp's in Milwaukee. It's the one great thing they have in Wisconsin. Kopp's custard is.
We gotta go back to Milwaukee, and I have to finally go.
Kopp's, yeah.
We gotta go. Okay. Mad Mike likes Cold Stone. I like Cold Stone too.
Kopps.
Cold Stone is good.
All right. There he is.
Justin Steele through
Man
7, no runs. Remember when I said I'm not worried about Justin Steele? Feel pretty justified tonight.
I liked that Steele, after every inning, he likes to show you the flow.
Yeah.
Takes the hat off, runs his hands.
It's all because he got that Justin Herbert football card.
See, they're wearing these. Who is this? Are these Bears players? I mean, I know they started OTAs. No, who is this?
I have no idea.
DePaul
University
players.
men's basketball players.
See the number, though? Like that 35, I can see that on an old Expos jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was driving in tonight. I thought maybe they'd get a Bears player because they have OTAs.
Mm-hmm.
Or Ben Johnson. Still has not thrown out the first pitch, right?
I don't think he has yet. He has not yet. Obviously not yet, but he will. Though.
And he's not going to do it during OTAs.
No.
They look just frozen. Why is his light on? Paul Basketball, thanks, Shay. What was that Arlington Heights pizza near and wants? No, Wayne's.
Wayne's, yeah.
Wayne's.
You've talked a lot about Wayne's.
Yeah, Cole Kmet was in on it.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it was Summer Mike Talkman. I told Talkman about it. He's like, yeah, that's where I go. Mm-hmm. Wayne's. Wayne's is a good one. It's over by the racetrack, too. Potential, new home of the Bears. Wayne's is right there. After Wayne's, I probably go Tortorici's.
Oh, I love Tortorici's.
In Arlington Heights, I go Wayne's, Tortorici's. There's a little place in downtown Arlington Heights that has a little stage set up for music, and it's a BYOB, and they make stone-fired pizzas. That's pretty good. I can't think of the name of it, though. It's kind of a different little place. There's a place called Passero. Their pizza's pretty good. It's different. Their pasta's better than their pizza, I think. It's also by the train station. I'm trying to think other pizza places in Arlington Heights. Wayne's. They used to have it when I was a kid. The pizza place in Arlington Heights was Jake's. Do you remember a Jake's Pizza? I think it was long gone before you guys were around. Jake's was kind of a popular place. Ron says Wayne's have those thinly charred onions and green peppers that are good. See, I hate green peppers, but I agree on the onions. Aaron says these youngs probably don't even know what an expo was. As I'm just telling you, Wayne. No, you never heard of the Montreal Expos?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, that was a bad error.
They were a team. That's where Andre Dawson played before he came to the Cubs.
Okay.
Tim Raines before.
Do we have the national championship on another screen?
Armand's. No. Ron likes Armand's in Arlington Heights. That's like a real thin crust one.
It's on a TV over there, but it's
Armand's downtown. I have friends that like Armand's.
29-25 Houston.
Armand's in Arlington Heights has great chicken parm sliders. Like really good chicken parm sliders. I'm a chicken parm guy. Like you don't want a chicken parm slider that's like tough. No, these are like butter. Real, butter. It's like a Chick-fil-A sandwich with like cheese and sauce on it.
Oh, nope, nice catch. Nice catch. That guy's like, he's still playing hard. He doesn't care that it's 7-0.
Well, it's the kid, Wyatt.
Yeah. Langford's like, yeah, I'm young.
He's not taking blood thinners yet.
Carson, I took Florida to win tonight. And I took the under. Under's looking pretty good right
Mount Agro Crag says Tom Brady was the last playing athlete who was drafted by the Expos.
That's crazy.
Vet there. And
birdie.
They had terrible AstroTurf there.
Well, that inning went kind of fast. That's what you like. It's 8:35. We're headed to the 8th inning, Luke Stucker.
All right, I'll be back.
You going to leave me here?
Okay. I'll be right back.
All right. What else? Luke likes to talk about all the spots in Arlington Heights. I could talk to you all about I could talk to you all about Uptown. Uptown has some of the most diverse food in Chicago. I don't know if that's true or not, but there's so much good food in Uptown / Andersonville / Edgewater. All right. Korean barbecue? Oh, yeah. Sunwall Barbecue on Broadway. I literally live right by it. Yeah. I do. Yeah. Yeah. Sunwall Barbecue is considered one of the best Chinese spots in the city, but they are known for their duck.
Emma, you should tell us about all of our T-shirts that are dropping and subscribing stuff.
Okay,
hello.
Give me a second to get adjusted. I don't want to knock over Luke's
Emma.
tea.
Everyone say hello to Emma, our social media director.
Hi, chat.
And queen.
Period. I always have my sleigh. I always have my hood on when I'm on this show, but just because my hair doesn't look good, my hat's on the other side, and my parents will be mad at me that I have my hood up. Oh, it's okay. Luke will be back in a second. Thanks, though, man. Okay, yeah, guys, subscribe. Get us to 2,000 subscribers so we can drop our next shirt. Yeah, the merch is fire. I've ordered a couple of them. I ordered the hot dog one, and I ordered the blue one. I'm waiting to order the last one. Get us to 2,000.
Are we still doing any like promotions or betting stuff, or was that for the first week of launch?
We don't have any promotions besides Bet365 going on right now on socials.
This reminds me, you need to send a message to Curtis Arndt or whatever.
Oh, that's on my list of things to do.
He messaged me today.
I know. I need to get his shirt sizes. Yeah. So that'll be coming from CHGO Cubs, Curtis, if you're watching. What's up, Cody?
Slaying.
Slaying.
Calling Rays into the game.
Bang.
You came at the perfect time.
Bang. Are you slaying, Sarah?
We're serving.
I am. I just realized, I was like, why are there less people watching? And I was like, oh yeah, because the basketball game is going on right now.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
And the Cubs lead 7-0, so
So bang.
We do have
that guy kind of looks like Ben Zobrist.
Yeah, he's kind of got the beard.
Kind of
right?
like the side profile. Okay, Luke is back. I don't.
The Cubs are back.
Oh, you're gonna heat up your
Bulls
seat?
are
Okay.
back. Bears are back.
Okay, great. I have the power.
My phone?
No, I got. I have 3 phones around me. Manager. Sorry.
She's like, manager.
Put some respect on my name. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. We love Luke, and he is very respectful. It's been a long day for me, if you can't tell. I'm tired.
Can I tell you a story?
Go off.
You would appreciate this because you're a social person, and this story has to do with TikTok. So Justin Steele, who shoved tonight, 7 innings, no earned runs.
Okay.
I was on TikTok the other day in my bed, doom scrolling.
Always.
And for whatever random reason, I don't follow her, but Steele's wife came up on the For You, And it starts with, it's literally goes straight to her recording Justin Steele looking at this rare Justin Herbert football card. It with just astonishment. Like he was just like, he couldn't believe what he was looking at.
Yeah.
I don't think I will ever see that man more high on life than in that moment.
That's incredible.
Unless the Cubs won the World Series with him, I do not think I will ever see him that high on life.
Yeah, I love that.
And that video was posted like 2 days ago, so I have talked myself into thinking that Justin Herbert rare football card led to his start tonight. Because when you're high on life, sometimes it gets you right. Bang.
Bang. I mean, that makes perfect sense. There's no such thing as a coincidence.
Yeah.
So there you go. Oh my God, that's incredible. Also, Sean wants us to talk about the Shota donut. Be prepared
the Shota
for a
donut.
social video on CHGO_Cubs on Instagram this week. But
God,
it was fire.
It was good. I think I ate it the wrong way, but
yeah. Whatever. Well, no, so they give you a little juice, like a little jelly to like stab. They literally told us to juice the ball.
Yeah.
They're like, it's like you're juicing the ball.
Yeah.
So you get blueberry or strawberry, I think. I got
nice catch, Tuck.
No, you got blueberry.
I got blueberry.
I got strawberry. It was fun juicing the donut. But it definitely, everyone around, it's a showstopper. Everyone was asking us about it. Everyone wanted to try it.
Mm-hmm. Shout out, was it Levy?
Levy.
Shout out to Levy Restaurants.
Yep.
They asked me and Emma to come and try some of their stuff.
And we'll
put that content out probably later this week.
Yeah, hell yeah, later this week. So. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate you. Juice in the pod. Bang.
Bang.
Boom. Today, Big Dave and I added ka-chow to the rotation. Or kapow. So be ready for that. I've just been gripping onto this reality spray.
I'm like waiting for you to spray me.
All right.
I feel like Luke would have. I feel like Luke would have sprayed me if I told the Justin Steele story.
Emma, just
to him.
What the people want to know is, you work with a lot of people at CHGO. Just go ahead and admit that we're your favorite. That we're the best beat.
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I'm not getting clipped. I'm not getting clipped. I'm not getting clipped. No, this bottle of water, this is like the best bottle of water. And it's saying pointed on Cody.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you need a little reality check.
Same girl. Bye. Thanks for having me, guys. Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
Bang.
Thanks for serving.
That's our VP of social media. VP of social media.
So Justin Steele, final line is 7 innings pitched and some other stuff.
We still got to do an hour post-game show.
This one's going to be fun to talk about, Luke Stuckmeyer. No, I think the only thing left I need from this game is Gage Tater Workman to maybe get a hit.
We've got a lot of cool stuff on the CHGO Cubs YouTube channel now. We put out a lot of fresh content there. Mm-hmm. I think maybe Emma's appearance should be a mini pod.
Well, I do think our conversation with Paul Paps should go up there. I think that was an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
0
Papsty.
2 walks.
Workman. Workman's 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. Right?
Yeah.
He needs a little positivity here. Tater needs some positivity here.
Yeah. Gage Tater Workman. Good take.
Let me start working on this show. We're going to go Man of Steel.
I would say Justin Steele belongs on the thumbnail, Sarah. Thank you.
Steele shoves.
He got a 3-1 count here. Look fastball. Let's go, King.
31-28 at halftime, by the way. For all the people that are jumping over, it's still halftime.
Okay.
3-1
to Tater. Oh, he walked. I'm going to lose that bet.
Add another walk.
Brian in the chat. Gage Tater Walkman. All right. Cody, do you watch WWE? I'm not like exclusively every Monday Night Raw or SmackDown on Fridays. Not like every week, but I like to watch the big pay-per-views. And sometimes occasionally I'll watch Raw. Yeah. I was on CHGO Wrestling once with Dave and Greg. It was fun. I feel like WWE now for me is just like naming random dudes. You know? Kind of like naming random baseball players. All right. Happer, 1 for 4. I'm pretty surprised the Rangers have kept this guy in. He's the one who's given up most of these runs.
Hap. He's got 3 ribbies tonight, doesn't he? I believe so.
Yo, Sarah, can you scroll up on the chat a little bit? Scroll up, yeah. Okay, never mind. I thought we missed a bunch. All right, well, Hap just hit into a double play. I know Luke Stuckmeyer is okay with that, considering the score and considering.
Sometimes you got to sacrifice your team for a shorter game.
Sometimes you got to sacrifice your own individual numbers for a shorter game.
Boy.
Well, King Tuck. You gonna hit one out? Ooh, 94. Why'd he let that one go by? You got 90. You throw it 94 in the middle of the plate, no matter where in the zone, like, ugh. You're lucky if he lets that one go by and doesn't do anything in it.
Sorry, I'm doing a little prep here.
You're good. All right, 1-1. Sean Caselli, $600 million man. I'm gonna save my Vlad Jr. hot take for the show, like I said, but it will go with.
That's going to be our third segment for those of you following along.
It will go with. It will go with the Kyle Tucker conversation of how much money he's going to make. And I'll probably be wrong in the long term, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to shoot from the hip, guys. All right?
It's 14 for 500, right?
14 for 500. 1 and 2. Oh, wow, that's a rare time. Tucker looks bad. That was a nice pitch.
Rare strikeout.
Rare strikeout. Look at this fan. Oh, my. Can we screen grab this fan?
Screen grab him.
Oh, my God.
Don't sleep on the new CHGO Cubs YouTube channel. Throw that video out there with it.
I need that fan in my phone. Why are they even there? They were so miserable.
Well, I think they might have been passed out or asleep. I think there's a real good chance they were passed out or asleep. Cards lost today.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
I got to tweet the score.
Pirates beat them.
Hey. What about Brewers? Did Brewers play today?
Did you see the Roberto Clemente thing with the Pirates?
I did, yeah.
We might throw that into that.
Apparently they put it back.
Oh, finally.
But yeah.
Might have wanted.
No Brewers
I would
today.
say maybe do that first.
Pirates 8, Cardinals 4.
It was for an advertisement, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Scott from Iowa. You said it. I'm not going to read your comment, Scott, because that might jinx it. But if it goes significantly longer, we blame you. Yeah, Reds are playing the red hot San Francisco Giants. Maybe I might be right about the Giants. I picked them to go to the playoffs. Red hot to start the year.
The Reds, on the other hand, we were both
ice cold.
Kind of high on there for a while.
I think a lot of people were because no one could understand the Pacoda projections.
They're just off to a slow start.
Oh, slow start, yeah. Pitching's kind of bleh. Offense, if McClain and Ellie De La Cruz do nothing, it's meh. Give Tucker 400, lock him up till he's 40. Not against it. Those back-in years, who cares? Colin Ray out here shoving it. In the 9th inning. 3 outs to go, my friends. I'm not high on the Reds, but I am high on Sunnyside. Use promo code HICHGO at checkout for 50% off your first 3 orders.
Has everybody smashed the like button?
Yes, we have more likes than we do viewers at the moment, so they definitely did. Colin Ray striking guys out. Who knew? Let's go. Dodgers are in 3rd place. What a waste of money. Yeah, get it all out while we can, huh, guys? Tim Lincecum, Hall of Fame, yay or nay? Did he play long? Like, was he great for long enough? I don't know. He had a great run.
How many Cy Youngs? 2?
I don't remember. Why is Ray only using these situations? He makes $5 million.
I don't know if it was long enough.
I think they want to be able to use him in these.
They want to use any of the bullpen guys.
Yeah,
and use them tomorrow.
They want to save the rest of the bullpen. They want to use Ray to eat innings out of the bullpen. That's what they want to use Ray for. I don't think it has anything to do with $5 million. But I don't know. That one might be going a long way. Nope. Not at all. All right. We're down to 1 out, guys. 7-0 Cubs. We are 1 out away from being undefeated on watch-alongs.
Yep. Make sure you join us for the post-game show here on the CHGO Cubs YouTube channel. Remember, if you know somebody that's going to watch the post-game show on the CHGO Sports YouTube channel, just let them know that the chat's going to go away like 5 minutes into that show. Yeah. So just jump on over, subscribe right here, and it's the best place to watch the show now. And you don't miss anything that way.
Yeah. The reason Vince says hope to see Ray over Presley yesterday, honestly, but Ray looks good. There's no way they're going to bring Ray in a 1-run game of a close game, like in the 9th inning at least. But go ahead, Sarah. What were you going to say?
Well, I was just saying the game's over.
It is still on right here.
We're watching it right here.
Come on, Sarah.
Jeez.
Now it's over. You just ruin it for us. You're lucky it's 7-0 Cubs. Cubs win. Fly the W. Everyone, F's in the chat for Sarah. F's in the chat for Sarah. We understand we're behind on the stream, Sarah. Fly the W.
Fly the W.
Go Cubs, go. We'll see y'all for post game. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're undefeated on watch alongs, presented by Bet365 and Toyota. And yeah, what else do we?
Are we switching chairs?
Yeah, we'll switch chairs. Okay. You go back to doing your role. All right. Go Cubs, go. See ya.
We all silly like the mayor.